Comments on what Ivan was just saying, Mr. Redding?
Well, I agree with him, and I agree with you again. You know, it's disturbing anytime you have anybody that's trying to stoke emotion, stoke fear, and that's what it sounds like this movie is doing. There are enough issues that are real, true race issues in this country that we should be concerned about. I don't believe people being here illegally and defending, quote unquote, their rights when they have none under our Constitution. How could they? They're not here legally. We should be concerned about them.
Absolutely. Very well said. I mean, it's simple. I mean, it's like special rights for these people.
Yeah. Someone said to me the other day, the Constitution said, I was like, why are you talking about the Constitution? These folks don't fall under it. They're not American citizens.
Meanwhile, the Congress is trying to take the rights of citizens. If they think you might be a terrorist, you don't get due process and can be disappeared. But nobody's worried about that. Or naked body scanners for all Americans, whether you're babies or whatever color they are, they're going to be put through naked body scanners.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. This whole scanning and watching individuals and being able to see their entire body, what's under their clothing, it's lewd. And they're talking about, well, nobody's going to see these images. Well, they are going to see these images, and they can archive these images. They're lying through their teeth, and I don't know who they think they're fooling, and that's why you're one of the most dangerous voices in America, and that's the reason why I put you on KMLB, because you're telling the truth, Alex, and I'm telling you, people are starting to wake up. Keep doing what you're doing. You're going to see more stations at your show.
Well, thank you. God bless you. Let's go ahead and talk to Joe in Wisconsin. You're on the air with Rob Redding. Go ahead.
Hi, how you doing? Reagan and Bush are, when they were in office, they had some rich friends, owned Walmart, big corporations, big factories. They wanted Mexican labor.
Oh, yeah.
They let it happen. And let me tell you something. Our politicians have sold us out as a country, as a people, for the lust of greed, to satisfy their selfish power lust to rule and control the earth. Our forefathers sacrificed our liability and our freedom was in vain because of these monsters that are the Bilderbergs and the politicians who obey them. The present day politicians do not want to recognize the Constitution. They pretend, it's just toilet paper. I bet bottom dollar your show is monitored by the CIA and other government agencies for pointing out all this. The head of the, snake, the evil that wants to inflict tyranny on us, is the Bilderberg members.
I hear you, Joe. Good points. More straight ahead with Rob Redding. Stay with us. Really appreciate him joining us today, syndicated radio broadcaster. Look, when I saw the machete trailer, when I see these students getting up and professors saying, aha, we're going to get the gringos, they're scum, I know that's not the majority of Hispanics. Listen to all the Hispanic callers. I go to have events here in Austin or places or L.A., and half the people are Hispanic.
Right.
I mean, I don't want to be fighting with people. I'm sick of it. And the Democratic Party was for slavery at the time it was there. Then they were the party that fought it, and that's good later, segregation and all that. And now, most of the time, they're just invoking it politically to go after their enemies, but so are the Republicans with, ads they run about convicts and things. Mm-hmm. Rob, do you see us coming out of this, or do you see it getting worse?
I see us well, first of all, Barack Obama scared the hell out of me, and he still does. And when he was elected, people said, oh, great, because people had already started to get so disillusioned with George Bush and government, and I thought that was a great thing. Not government, but politics and partisans. And I talk about this in my book, Hired Hatred. The point is this. When I saw Barack Obama, this charismatic black guy, come up through the ranks, I was completely infuriated. And the reason why is because he's been able to corral people back into identity politics, back into the Democratic fold, and it starts all over again. I am looking for an implosion in political parties, looking for the fact that we need to get back to good government. We need to understand what George Washington said a long time ago when he was the first president, that political parties are divisive. We've divided ourselves within race. We've divided ourselves within family, husband against wife, son against brother, it's just one of those things, you know, father against son. It's one of those things where we have to get back to good government. And what Barack Obama has done is set us back and put us back under this tent. And now we're starting to see a division where the Republicans are playing race politics against him. It's just it's an ongoing cycle. So for us to answer the question, to get out of this, we have to have more shows like yours, more shows like mine that expose these people for what they are. They are playing us against each other, and until we recognize that, until we stop it, will we ever come out of this? We have to get back to good government. We have to get back to policy making and calling a spade a spade. If these people are here illegally, let's deal with that. But let's not pat somebody on the back that's done wrong and say, you're right, you're wrong as hell. The truth is the truth. That's the one thing that I agree with you on. You've said over and over on this show, I am for the truth, and that's what I believe. The same thing you do.
Well, I apologize to all the other callers that we don't have time to get to, but Dan in Virginia and many others will be able to get back on live tomorrow on the Friday edition. And we appreciate our guest, Rob Redding of Redding Review. Tell us about your website a little bit.
Redding News Review is a website I started 8 years ago back in Atlanta when I did my talk show, because people were literally upset with me for reading the Atlanta Journal and Constitution. They called it the Atlanta Journal and Constipation. So I started Redding News Review, and it's been online. It'll be 9 years old in March. The show is named after it, Redding News Review, the show, which is heard on GCN and on XM and other stations across the country on Sundays from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern. Well,
you've got a great broadcast. You got to do 5 days a week. And
I would love to.
It was great being on with you. I look forward to coming on your show.
Oh, I'd love to have you on this Sunday.
Absolutely. This Sunday I'll be on talking about a host of issues with all the perverts and stuff in the Republican Party and how they're being sexually blackmailed. We'll be talking about that and more on your show this Sunday. Rob Redding, great having you here.
Thank you, and congratulations to you again on Radio Link.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Well, that's it for this broadcast. Great job to the crew. And I'll be back live tomorrow, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. on the economy and on these brain-eating vaccines and so much more. Have some very informative guests joining us as well. Great job to the crew. I want to thank all the listeners and supporters out there. God bless you, ladies and gentlemen. Retransmission starts now.